Hello and welcome, everyone. It is the Collegiate Chess League Spring 2026 season. My name is Joe, and I am ready for this season to get started here. We've got a Division 1 matchup. This has honestly been a season debut, I feel like, historically. University of Virginia is taking on Mizzou, the scholarship team from Missouri, the number one seed overall, the Tigers, and Virginia squeezing into the top division once again. They are the eighth seed, so the strongest of all the rest of the schools, essentially, because top division, you've got like the five scholarship teams, you've got two from Missouri, three from Texas, and then there's two international teams, SRM IST from India, as well as Lviv from Ukraine. And then there's Virginia. So Virginia has actually beaten Mizzou before. They're led by their top board, who's in grad school, Jason Moorfield. And I believe we've actually got the games starting. So I'm going to dive right in here. Let's see if I can pull those games up for you all. And here we go. This is Luca from Mizzou, a veteran at this point, playing up against Owen McCoy. This is one of the team captains. He is a national master, I do believe. Luca, obviously a grandmaster. I'm expecting all of these players from Mizzou to be grandmasters, except there is one player from Mizzou that I am not familiar with, a new player joining this season, I believe, and they seem to be an international master. So let's actually go in and check out that game. This is against Jason Moorfield. So Jason is that top board FIDE master in grad school, still with University of Virginia. So very exciting to see that he's back and returning. He's definitely a player that you want to keep an eye out for. I know he's not a grandmaster by any means, but even in this matchup here, he is the rating favorite, over 2,900, and he's been known to take down some of these top Mizzou players. So I think Virginia really enjoys this level of competition. I think they enjoy being in the top division, even if they are the lowest seed of the top eight. I think they're up for the challenge. So we see Jason here pinning this knight. This knight was attacking this pawn, but black hadn't castled yet. So black decided to castle, not getting greedy, and that actually might have walked into this fork. In fact, this bishop is going to get questioned immediately because bishop here is going to be annoying to deal with as well. Pinning the knight to the rook. Knight is undefended because this b pawn is pushed. So expecting to see Jason's light square bishop develop and defend this knight at the same time as well. So we see the rook now developing, putting some pressure through an x-ray on e4. But yeah, we do have Aryan Tari playing as well. This is pretty much the face of the league at this point. He's over 3,000 rated, and a large part of why Mizzou is so strong and why they're the number one seed. So he's definitely helping with the team average. That's important because that's going to determine their pairings throughout the season. That's why they're starting off up against the number 8 seed. Now, Mizzou didn't have the best playoff run last season, didn't quite make it to the finals. Last season, it was St. Louis University against UT Dallas, and SLU defended their title. And that was a close one. Dallas, I don't know, they've never won the championship before, but that was definitely their chance. Dallas is led by their new team captain. Well, I shouldn't say captain, but one of their new coaches. Obviously, their head coach, Julio Sidora, who's been there for a while now. But after graduating from Mizzou, Grandmaster Mikhail Antipov has joined the UT Dallas team as a coach and has been helping them. So he was a large part of why they had success last season, but they came up just short against St. Louis University, one of the main rivals for Mizzou, an in-state rival at that. And yeah, I believe SLU is competing against, it might be Lviv today as well. But yeah, it looks like we've got one last game that we haven't looked at yet. Yo, shout out to Joe Cozy tuning in. Appreciate that. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Happy Valentine's Day as well to everyone who's celebrating. And it's also Mardi Gras today, which is exciting. Knight here is a move. It's attacking the bishop, and it's also a discovery on the knight. However, the bishop just takes the pawn and defends the knight at the same time. And now we see this pawn push hitting the bishop, but it's also blocking the queen. So the computer is absolutely loving Black's position. This is Isik Can from Turkey playing for the Mizzou team, looking like they're going to be able to get Mizzou's first point. So here's one check, and obviously the bishop can't block because the knight is there as well. So the king is forced to move. This king will not be castling, and this is a huge advantage for Black. So Joseph Levine, one of the newer players on this Virginia team, not the best start for them. This is looking quite rough. This bishop might be rerouting opposite this king. And again, we can't even develop this bishop. Bishop here walks into mate in 1. So that'd be a quick way to end the game. Hello to Benjamin Bach. Shout out to Bach as well. And hello to Jenny. Good to see you. Even when it's not SLU, can't stop talking about him. That's for a good reason. SLU has earned their credentials in the Collegiate Chess League. Honestly, starting with Benjamin Bach, he was on that inaugural season team, I believe, back in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So Mizzou and SLU, they've won all of the championships in the last, at least 5 seasons, if not more, maybe 7 seasons. I think Mizzou has won maybe twice, and SLU has won the rest of them, maybe 5 of them. I don't know. So yeah, expect to see SLU on broadcast more later this season. But for this season debut, we're watching the number 1 seed here. So Mizzou, we'll have to see if they can keep that number 1 seed, because if I'm not mistaken, they were number 1 seed last season as well. But most importantly, it all comes down to the playoffs and how your team performs then. So it looks like we have a pin on the bishop, but the queen is defended. But Black certainly wouldn't want to trade. Look at this fancy move. This is preventing Black from castling at all. So if the pawn takes, that drops the king, so that's illegal. It's pinned. And we're attacking this pawn, so if the pawn pushes and also hits the queen and also prevents this pin, threatens the knight, I believe the knight would still give this check, and then the king cannot castle. The king would have to move. So really a creative idea here, putting the queen, pinning the bishop, but also pinning the pawn. And now bishop hits the knight, but the knight now threatens this pawn. If rook here, maybe there's queen takes. So we see a simplification. Now this allows for king takes. If you take with the rook, then you're lining yourself up with discoveries. So the pin on the bishop works both ways. Notice the king is on a light square. So there were no bishop checks because this knight was in the way. But now that the knight has moved, it's very important that we don't line ourselves up here. So probably if king takes or knight takes, the king hits the knight. And then you're just down a piece. So Very interesting. Although I don't know, there's probably no perpetuals there. If we give up the knight like that. So, oh wow, rook takes is absolutely shocking to me. Wait, what was wrong with? Oh, if king takes, was there just like some mate? King takes, check. Uh, no, I have no idea what was wrong with king takes. Ooh, queen c3 is kind of, that's not nice. Okay, that was the problem. So he takes with the rook, and he has to give up the queen here. So that is, I mean, it's, oh my god, knight takes is a fork. Holy smokes, it's deeper than I thought. So, okay, not taking what I assumed to be a free queen. Wow. I mean, knight e6, what a nifty little knight move that is. Jesus. Will I be your Valentine? Sure. Okay. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so Luca won his game against Owen. Sorry, we missed it. Luca looks like they got pretty strong rooks here. Giving up an exchange, and now this rook coming here, king here, and that's going to be mate. So, yeah, otherwise you got to give up the house. Okay, strong start for Mizzou. Let's check in with Jason again. Jason and his opponent both under a minute on the clock. So we're getting into a little bit of a time scramble here. This pawn looks like it's going to be falling. So Amilal with the white pieces, perhaps to have an advantage. I mean, look at all this going on over here with the knights. Just this knight's getting attacked, that knight's getting attacked, this pawn's getting attacked, this knight's getting attacked. Bishop takes, rook takes, the knight's still hanging. Does the knight go here? And then you lose this pawn? Jason, down to 10 seconds, doesn't know what to do. What's going on? Knight here maybe needs to be played. 5 seconds now. 3, 2. He goes back. He's dropping the pawn, and now the eval bar goes up for white. Black lifts the king, making sure this pawn is defended, and white just calmly brings the pieces back. We've got absolute time scrambles on all of the boards. Let's check in with Isak. Now, he's got 2 seconds on the clock, and now Joseph Levine, International Masters, completely winning. And there you have it. Look at that rook checkmate. So that evens up the score for Virginia. And now we've got Ariantari and Alex, and that game is still even. So Luca gets a point for Mizzou, and Joseph answers back, keeping it close. The board threes getting it done. We've got a tied score right now, but it looks like Ariantari is breaking through here with this last blunder. Queen c2, allowing for rook takes f3. Not only winning a pawn, but stranding white with double isolated g-pawns. This is a 3-on-2. Ariantari is going to grind this rook and pawn endgame, and there you have it. Look at that. Rook takes on b3. That pawn is falling, and black is adding on to their advantage. So white's going to hope for some sort of trick in the endgame to try and maybe find a draw somewhere, but it's going to be tough. All right, let's go back to... Oh, he's giving up the g-pawn, trying to activate the king, but he's dropping all of his pawns. We might see resignation. There it is. Right on cue. So Alex, 2,400 up against over 3,000 Ariantari. That was going to be tough anyways. We've got one last game. Ariantari's win gives Mizzou a 1-point lead so far here in round 1. But Jason keeping it close, 5 seconds to 20. It's opposite color bishops, probably with best play. It's a draw, but Jason's going to flag. He's got 2.4 seconds. He made that move with less than a second on his clock. They've got 2-second increment, and he's living on it. 3 seconds. He's got to go fast. Oh, and now white's completely winning. White is infiltrating, and that's an outside passed a-pawn. Oh my god, but white's threatening to promote with check. The rook comes back, but now the rook is attacking, and yet white... Oh yeah, white went. Okay. Sorry, I thought Jason had white for a second. Okay. My bad. No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So Jason goes down to the board 4. That is a big advantage for Mizzou now, up by 2. So Jason maybe could have held that for a draw, but didn't have the time on the clock. So goes down. And that is round 1 of this season. This first match here. What a start. We've got 3 more rounds left in this match, assuming they don't go to overtime. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. We've got some exciting chess. Mizzou definitely, I think, had a sour taste in their mouth after last season, not making it to the finals match, losing in semifinals. I think to Dallas. If not, maybe SLU. I'm not sure. But okay. Next games, we've got them starting here. We've got Jason now up against Luca. So Luca started strong with a win in that first round. Oh, the moves are eluding me. Here we go. Maybe we watch ooh, is this a brilliant move here? Wow, some theory, some prep. It seems like whenever you can line up these pieces, you always have to watch out for this fork. So really nice simplification here. Luca getting Jason perhaps on an opening trap. Some prep work here. And Jason is up a piece right now, but is going to have to give one of them back. Has to decide how to do it. And yeah, Luca's going to be pretty happy with this end position. But still quite a game. You can tell Luca has gained time on the clock, and Jason now under 4 minutes. So shaky start for Jason, especially in this game. So and it's rough when you're the top board. You get the easiest opponents in the early rounds. Your opponents only get stronger and stronger throughout the match. So if Jason's struggling now, he's got to definitely pick it up for his team. Especially being the top board, your team is looking for you for some points. But right now, the only points that Virginia's gotten after the first round is from Joseph Levine. And Joseph has his work cut out for him up against the Mizzou top board, Ari and Tari. And it looks like this position's already favoring white as well. Here we have a French defense, opposite side castles, and an all-out pawn storm from both sides. And it looks like white is making some serious progress here on the dark squares. Black is keeping the H-file closed for now. This bishop might be rerouting its way in to the heart of Black's position. So Black's going to try their best and keep things pointing at white's king. But we'll see if Tari is going to find a breakthrough. Maybe going to start pointing at these light squares now. So yeah, love opposite side castles games. This is just an all-out attack. It's always about who can strike first, who's going to flinch first. And I mean, both players, they get the memo. They've got these pawns pushed, but it looks like maybe Tari's going to be able to be the one to make some progress first. So we see a lot of material just pointing at this E pawn. It's going to make it a little difficult to push for F5, but also queen and rook. They're trained on this C pawn. This also kind of gets out of the way of this pawn, but if you can't budge this knight, it's going to be difficult. So maybe the knight's going to come here at some point and try to trade off. This knight's kind of a key defender, but you can see Tari's pieces are really clamping down on any of these breaks on the queen side. So Tari has the liberty now to continue their push on the king side. And yeah, we might not even care about the e-pawn. We might just say f5. Let me just start opening things up. Imagine we sacrifice, open up the h file. That's what Tari's thinking about right now. Any way to get at that king. So yeah, pawn push, maybe gonna bring the bishop over for a trade. This bishop not doing too much, but if we can come here and trade off this bishop is one of these double-sided pieces. It's influencing both the attack and the defense. This queen and the bishop both defending c2. This could be a potential mating square if these pieces go too far away from the king. So that could be the idea here. We might see bishop a6 from Joseph. You feel like Virginia Tech is better, to be honest. Well, they're certainly not higher rated than University of Virginia. So Virginia Tech not able to make Division I based off of their team average rating, but maybe Virginia Tech and Virginia need their own sort of match. Okay, knight's coming back. This is helping control f5. It's also opening up for the queen and the rook. Bishop here asking a question. That knight says, where are you going? And computer gives us a mistake. Maybe the knight's going to come back, and this bishop was doing an important job controlling this knight's movement, right? We're talking about this knight being a key defender. If this knight moves, then this pawn can push, and now it's black that's going to try to open the a file. Yes, this knight moving forward, this is both defending this knight with the discovery of the queen, but also doing exactly what we were talking about, trying to dislodge this knight. So really like this move a lot from Joseph. And it seems like Aryan might be losing an advantage. This knight's not only just attacking this knight, but also attacking the bishop on d3. So really, really solid position here for black to get back. I know the computer wasn't the biggest fan earlier, but now it looks to be a little bit more even. Still a slight advantage for white, but definitely it seems like black is going to be able to get something out of this. We see f5 now, so there's no pressure on the e-pawn. E-pawn's defended anyways. This knight could have been grabbed, but this dark square bishop could just be the difference maker here. We've got bishop versus knight, and f5. This g-pawn is never really budging. This queen now is opening up, and honestly, it's 3 squares away from delivering a devastating checkmate. If this queen could get to that diagonal, if it could get to g7, the game is going to be over. And queen here, it's not only just threatening to squeeze its way in there, it's also coming with a tempo against the knight. So this is a really tremendous move here from Aryan Tari. He's putting all this pressure on black. Black could crumble here if they fold, if they can't find the proper moves. And it's not easy at all, to be honest, because the top move that's recommended is a4. You're completely ignoring all of these threats against your king. It looks so scary, but black has to be active in their defense. They have to go for offense. That is the best defense, because if black can make threats against Tari's king, that's going to keep some of his pieces at bay. Remember, if we go queen here, trying to squeeze our way in, well, guess what? We're blundering c2 because we traded those light squared bishops. That was one of the key defenders. So Tari has to keep at bay a little bit as well. But right now, this move is working great wonders because Joseph Levine hasn't moved yet. They've got 30 seconds to 247. They can't spend all their time here. Can they find a4? What are they going to do? Oh my goodness, he finds it. It took a lot of time, but it was the best move. It might be worth it. But now he's got to play fast for the rest of the game. Luckily, there's the 2-second increment. Let's congratulate Virginia Tech B for their strong win against Rutgers A team. Nice. Well done. All right, there are some other games going on. It looks like we just saw a mistake here from Alex. This position, a mistake here from Black. Trading rooks and now a pass pawn. Knight here with a fork, also question mark. And oh my lordy, look at this move. Fancy. Saying you've got back rank issues, my friend. Queen check. There's got to be a block here with one of these pieces. Has to come back. Bishop does, and now White's saying, hey, what are you doing? You're not taking me because I'm back rank mating you. Alex has 10 seconds to figure this out. Queen here. And now, what do we want? We just push our pawn? That's what I would do. Nope. Said free knight. Thank you very much. Wow, that was a fork. All right, bishop steps up saying, I need some space for my king to breathe now. This king steps up, unpinning the bishop. Bishop hits the rook and controlling some of these squares. The knight is guarding this, so this bishop's not quite pinned. But I feel like this, also this, by the way, is defending that. So that was a threat. Rook here, pinning the bishop and threatening to trade. 4 seconds for Alex. Pawn push, that's got to be basically GG. I mean, come on. Check town. Rook's hanging, king is hanging, resigns. E6, 2 for 2 now. All right, let's check in. Owen looking good against Amilal. Right as I say that, he blunders. Oh my goodness. Knight here, big blunder. Double question mark. The bishop is just left to dry. What is the move here? What is the move here? We need to give a check. We just need to check, I guess, and find our way through. But he couldn't find it, and now, oh, is this a? Hold on, knight here threatens mate. By the way, does it not? Hold on, what was I missing? This is a great move. Oh, because rook here was gonna be a big check, and the knight defends this right now. Oh my goodness. Owen might squeeze out a draw from here because knight here, I don't see how you stop mate. There's 1 check, 2 checks, 3 checks. Hold on. Just take, right? I mean, yeah. Rook takes his mate, by the way. And if bishop blocks, rook check. Oh my lordy. Why did he allow that? Rook c8 check. Here he needed knight g2. Oh my god, takes it and it's going to be a fork. Hold on, but he has e5. That's the only winning move. Oh my lord, he's going to find a draw? Oh, he takes. Oh, knight here defends, but check. Another check. King here. No? Draw? This is crazy. Ariantari won and Luca won against Jason Moorfield. Okay, so the knight is hit. I mean, you don't want to do that. Oh, man. But he's doing it. He needed e5 earlier for the win. Oh, he's... Hold on, he's threatening all these checks, discoveries. King up, king, yeah, king here. Hold on. Don't go anywhere just yet, folks. Pawns are pushing. Can Owen get a point here? Oh, he went the wrong way, apparently. It's not easy, guys. It is not easy to play these, if that wasn't obvious. So, let's give Luca his second point. Mizzou is just adding on to the lead. Okay, now, yeah, the knights are both hanging. And now there's discoveries here. Check. Rook takes. Oh! But that would have dropped this pawn, I guess. And he's going after this knight. Takes here. Now this pawn is hanging. Knight here is threatening a big fork if that pawn was taken. Check king up. He goes up. There's another check. This pawn's defended now. The king is centralizing. No more checks. There's a check. King is forced deep, and he resigns. Wow. The knight's gonna be hanging. So, wow. Owen takes down Ami Lal here in round 2. But another 3-1 round for Missouri, and they got to be happy with that score. So Owen gets on the board. Jason, rough start, 0 for 2, and only 2 left. So let's check in with our round 3 games that are about to begin here. So it looks like we've got Aryan Tari up against Owen McCoy. We've got Isak up against Jason. Jason with the black pieces. And Isak looks like a hyper modern, both bishops fianchettoing. And the bishop coming back here, we saw this in another game. That was a issue for back rank problems. So yeah, definitely very interesting to see going back to this. Aryan with the white pieces, and looks like we've got, this is just was this a Petrov? I don't know. I should probably know. I should commentate Virginia Tech next week. Okay. We'll see. I think Virginia Tech said that they couldn't reschedule because their players were all busy for the entirety of now and March 29th. So, maybe if they rescheduled a match, I would watch that. But I think Virginia Tech, they're just so busy. But I'll check in next week. They can always reschedule a forfeited match. So we'll see. I don't know. They might not like playing chess. Not sure. But excited that they joined us again. I think they played last season and won some prizes, so that's pretty good. Virginia Tech is back in action. So we'll have to keep an eye on some of their games. Oh, the B team doesn't represent Virginia Tech. It's only the A team. That's really strange. University of Virginia, they have an A team and a B team. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Anyways, Virginia, it's quite a state. I mean, there's like even schools that are in DC, but it's like that's not Virginia, I guess. I don't know. They're just neighbors, maybe. Lots of schools in the DC area, so that's cool. Anyways, let's check in with Ami Lal and Joseph. So Ami Lal, they've lost one of their games. Joseph has won one of the 2 games. So both of these players are even in score, but the computer right now is preferring white. So Joseph must have had a good opening here. Probably doubling the rooks is pretty solid. You could develop the knight or the bishop with a tempo. I like getting the bishop out of the way because I would like to put the rook maybe on c1, going after the c pawn. Looks like a move. You got a knight on the edge. Probably the knight's going to come back, but then maybe this knight wants to move forward. Yeah, maybe just the good old-fashioned knight e5, Who says no? Maybe the bishop comes out with the pen. Like, white just has so many options here. There's so many pieces that you can move. The world's your oyster. But Ami Lal is up a pawn, so this must have been a gambit line. So c4, fianchetto, just giving up the pawn. And yeah, we see both knights pointing at the c pawn. Black gives up the bishop pair and gives up the material. So yeah, we do see the knight here opening up for that bishop. Just keeping this knight kind of locked in. So we see this knight move. Said, well, if you're not going to pin me, I'm going to move my knight, and I'm going to do a lot of things with this move. This is, first and foremost, directive number one, it's threatening a fork. So you best react to that before you lose more material. But secondly, it's also clearing the way for the F pawn, perhaps to kick out this knight. This knight's being pretty annoying, right? Just kind of boxing in these pieces. So here, Black is kind of saying, hey, if you want to give up your bishop pair, your fianchetto bishop specifically, I'll give you the pawn back, even with the tempo as well, if you want it that badly. But you're going to be giving up a very valuable piece, and my bishop is going to try and take up your bishop's residency on the light squares. So we'll see. Joseph is right now debating this potential trade. The best move is bishop d2. You're developing your last minor piece. You're boxing out this knight. You're hitting this knight with the tempo. You do have to give up the dark square bishop if they go. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to go down in exchange. But okay. So now, okay, wow, knight here. So Black's really just saying, I'm not even going to go for your exchange, and I'm going to give you the pawn back again. Queen takes, say hello to the rook. I mean, who says no? 40 seconds, though, for Joe. 40. This is over a 4-minute advantage for Amilal, which is ridiculous in a 5-minute game. So talk about a time advantage. Amilal's got one. 20 seconds? I mean, this is ridiculous. How do you expect to play a blitz game like this? Both players, international masters. Okay, so not taking the pawn with a tempo. Question mark. Yeah, I don't know where we're going with this, but okay. I guess, I mean, yeah, honestly, I don't really know. Queen here, rook here, maybe. He says you could take it again. He wants to go here. That's a skewer. Ooh, and that's gonna hurt. So Joseph misses the skewer, and he's gonna lose an exchange. I mean, look at this pawn push. He's attacking. He takes here now, but I mean, that's 2 rooks. What, are you gonna take this? I mean, come on. That's so many rooks. That's like 100% of your rooks. Maybe worse than that is a time. I don't know. 2 exchanges? He's got the bishop pair. I mean, you got to give him that. Bishop pair, 2 bishops versus 2 rooks. It's kind of crazy though, but okay. Let's check in with Luca. Luca with the black pieces. He's 2 for 2 so far. And he's looking good. He's up what, 3 points? This is an exchange and a pawn. So that's pretty good, all things considered. White has that bishop pair, though. The Virginia players love that bishop pair. Okay. Discovery on the bishop. I mean, you could just trade this bishop's kind of, I guess here it drops that, huh? With the tempo. It's not great. Maybe rook here? No. That drops an exchange. Luca is a little down on time, but I think he's liking what he's got. So, yeah, just tucks back calmly. Keeps an eye on this. Let's check in with Isak and Jason. Jason is 0 for 2. Now in the second half, he's up against the top 2 strongest players. And Jason's got less than a minute here against Isak. Knight hopping in with what you might consider a fork. So Isak might be winning some material. King steps up, not letting that rook get active. And keeping the question on the a-pawn, saying, where are you going with that? Where do you think that pawn's going? Right now, the best position for Virginia is Owen. And Owen looks to be fairly even against Ari and Tari. So Tari takes a pawn, kind of ruins the structure. Owen's asking a question to the bishop. So the bishop tucks away. Yeah, not the best bishops here for Owen. They're both still on the back rank. These bishops seem to be fairly active. This pawn, though, it's not easy to get to it. Amilal won their game, so the two rooks were definitely overpowering the two bishops. So Amilal back in the win column. And that brings Missouri 1.5 points away from victory. They need 8.5 to win the match. So, okay, Aryan throws the pawn away back and damages black structure as well. These knights covering a lot of ground here when they're back to back like that. These knights not as good as these knights. So we see a reroute from Tari. Looks like Jason's about to lose here. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. He finds a move, but what's the problem here? It's he traded the rooks for that pawn advantage, and so now White's just going to be able to make there goes another pawn, and you see resignation. So and now Luca looks to be winning this one up the exchange. So point for Isak. That brings Mizzou up to 8 points. They're a half point away from winning the match. So at this point, really, it's by how much will they win the match. Black's looking great here. Just going to trade off that last rook. So the king steps up, trying to keep that rook on the board. But you're going to concede some space. So rook steps up, trying to get to the third rank. The other rook could come in and say, where do you think you're going? And now the rook comes here. Rook's going to come here. Maybe. If the rook comes back down here. No, he goes here. Maybe black wants to double somewhere. Maybe getting to the second is going to be very strong. So rook's trying to protect. Rook's double here. White's trying to hold on here. White's trying to create some sort of fortress, perhaps. Rook dodges that. Rook's double, saying, I'm going to pin you. I'm going to force you off, but no. Bishop says, I'm going to prevent that from happening. So pawn push. Pressure on this guy now. If you go here, then, yep, you're going to have this forced off. There you have it. And you see resignation. So Luca, a perfect 3 for 3 right now. Can Ariantari join him? That does confirm the win for Mizzou. So they will still play the 4th round because those points, the overall score is going to be important for the tiebreakers at the end. And here we see Ariantari finds a tactic. He wins some material. And it's only a matter of time now. So Owen couldn't hang in the time pressure. Less than 10 seconds. And we see here bishop trade offered. King steps back getting out of the pen, but it doesn't defend that knight. So we see a rook sacrificed for 2 minor pieces, and now the minor pieces are swarming in. Just so much chemistry here between them. The pawn was hit. The knight's defending this pawn. Now that's pinned. We have knight here's a threat, knight here's a threat. Pawn here just boxing out the rook for the time being. These bishops, I mean, come on. This king, if you go here, it just drops the knight immediately. So knight here, I'm expecting. I don't see anything wrong with this move, but okay. Check again. No, he's just pushing. He's pushing through. Okay. Check. King hits the rook. That pawn's defended by the knight, but you got to give it up anyways. So that's 3 minor pieces. What's funny is if you take, you're getting forked. But anyhow. Yeah, this is some brutal stuff. The king's just walking on in. This pawn is going to fall. And we might see resign or a flag. pawn takes, there's pawn push. Oh, he just takes. And if I mean, the bishop's covering everything, so it's fine. So Owen flags here officially. But yeah, Ariantari also a perfect 3 for 3, and now he's got one last player in his way. It is Jason Moorfield in round 4. So that was a perfect 4-0 sweep in round 3 for Mizzou. And yeah, this is just illustrating the difference between the top team and the 8th team in Division 1. But that being said, Virginia has beaten Missouri before. So, and Jason was part of that team. Jason remembers that, I'm sure he'd tell you about it. All right, here we go. Ariantari versus Jason Moorfield. This is the last round. This is also Jason's only chance now at getting some points on the board. And this is also Ariantari's chance to sweep the Virginia team. So this could be a statement win for Mizzou. Like I said, they didn't do great at the end of last season, so they want to start things off on the right note here with a very convincing win for sure. Honestly, for a lot of these top teams, when you're playing against maybe some of the bottom teams, it's not just about winning, it's about winning by a large margin. As I had mentioned, these points do matter for tiebreaks. So every game matters. The score matters. Every point is important. And the other teams, they're going to try their best to win by a large margin when they're playing up against Virginia as well. So this match might be over in terms of the results, but it's not over yet. Mizzou still has some work to be done here. So we see some trades. We've got isolated B pawns here for Jason, but a very strong pawn duo in the center. So that's definitely quite valuable to have. You could kick out any knight at any moment. We're already hitting the bishop. Bishop's going to hit the rook. I'm expecting one of these pieces to develop and block. We don't offer the bishop trade. We just go in with the knight. But now our knight's pinned, and that gives Ariantari an opportunity to question the center. So he's able to push d5, and now that helps give his knight an anchor. Jason tries to hit Tari's knight, but yeah, this knight is getting absolutely locked in there. There is en passant, and it looks like Jason's going to go ahead and do that. That wasn't forced, by the way. That was a voluntary response. Some will tell you it's forced. Okay, I'm surprised not taking with the queen, for example. I guess if queen takes, you allowed knight takes with tempo. So the knight decides to take, and now bishop here unpins the knight. So this knight is no longer welcomed to e4. Alpha, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, honestly, let us know if you guys are cheering for Ariantari to get the sweep or if you're cheering for Jason to prevent the sweep. This is Jason's last chance. Jason might get swept otherwise. Or if you're from Virginia Tech, maybe you're cheering not for Tari to get a sweep, but for Jason to get swept. It's a distinction that should be made. So, yeah. I don't know. I guess there's some University of Virginia haters out there, and they go to Virginia Tech, perhaps. I guess Missouri's biggest rival is Kansas, but there's not that many teams from Kansas competing. Okay, so Tari just takes the knight with the bishop, and it's because he wants his knight back. So he's going to help fix Jason's pawn structure, but he's going to say, you're going to have to deal with this guy. So I imagine pawn push makes a lot of sense to me. And I guess that black is just going to take the bishop back, so the bishop's probably going to move. So yeah, I was going to think like maybe e3, but okay, he goes here. He probably wants to go to b2, I imagine, so that when we do play c4, there's a world where this bishop can really open up its eyes and be on that long diagonal. Maybe it makes sense to do it now, opposite the queen as well. So yeah, this pawn undefended now. Okay, he's going here with the tempo on the rook, saying if you want to stay on that f-file, you're going to have to go to f7, which might be awkward for you. So yeah, Jason did not want to give up that last bishop, and so reroutes it to a3. Meanwhile, Aryan is not the only player looking for a sweep from the Mizzou team. We also have Luca. Luca is looking great here against Joseph, international master. And yeah, what happened here? So we had pawn push, bishop back, and look at this. Knight takes, and the idea is that there's going to be g5. And this bishop is pinning the f-pawn, so g3 is not a safe square. So yeah, crazy idea here from black. So yeah, it was fairly even here until this move. So the computer does not like this move. But black is saying like, hey, I just grabbed a pawn and I'm going to win another piece and I'm going to open things up against your king. So I'm really curious as to what the computer likes so much for white. This could be maybe too weakening for black. This king isn't castled yet. So yeah, this is going to be definitely a very interesting game. And look at that. White just gives back the material. White just sacks a piece back, giving black an option, saying, go ahead, choose your poison. Well, first and foremost, this knight was hanging. So black takes here first, saying, hey, you still have this problem, your bishop. So maybe there's going to be knight takes. Maybe there's going to be queen takes with tempo. Maybe there's going to be just rook sacrifice. Oh, my lord. That could be the move. That could be it right there. Rook takes. If they take here, we've got queen takes. Lining up all sorts of some fun ideas. This is a spicy game here, folks. Wow, there you have it. Exchange sack. Double exclam, brilliancy. The Levy-Rosman sack the rook here. The idea is that queen takes is going to be a fork, hitting the king and the bishop, right? And this is an important bishop. That's the one that's causing our problems with this guy. We can't go back because the queen will just take us. So, yeah, very creative moves here from white, taking advantage of an uncastled king, and some of these moves from black, sacking the knight, for example, just to play g5. Luca saying, hey, you don't have time for that. You forgot to develop all of your pieces and get castled. So I'm going to open up, I'm going to sack back, and I'm going to sack even more. So you're not going to outsack me, because now you've got a rook on d7, and you're also down a piece. So if you want to take that, be my guest, but you're going to drop that, and you're going to have more problems along the way. So yeah, and now Joseph is under a minute on the clock. Man, these grandmasters are pretty good. They know what they're doing. Okay, bishop here. Defending the pawn, attacking the rook. Solid move. And now Luca, what's your follow-up going to be? Rook back? I mean, honestly, it's a great move. I don't really know what's going on. Rook comes back, so now black kind of has to take the bishop, right? You would think. Maybe they didn't have to, but it felt like the obvious choice. Amilal already won their game against Alex, so Alex gets swept. Amilal improves to 3 out of 4. I believe only losing to either Joseph or Owen. Okay, pawn push hits the bishop. Let's check in with Aryan and Jason. So Jason looks to be a little low on time. He does get c4 in, and he trades knights, dropping f2 with check, but damaging the black pawn structure, also winning this pawn. Taking this pawn. Rook here is the big question mark move. So what was the move here for Jason? Jason needs to continue with d6. He goes here and allows queen here. Rook f1, preventing rook f2. Also just getting out of the way here. This rook was pinned to the defense of this rook. Aryan about to get below a minute here. Jason under 30 seconds. Luca bringing the time pressure heat against Joseph. Joseph up material, but 4 seconds. Oh my goodness. Tari just had a huge blunder. What is this? Bishop takes? Hello? Question mark? Jason, you got to take that, brother. Come on. What? Jason didn't take? That's ridiculous. That is crazy, dude. How do you not take that piece? How do you not take that piece? Somebody check in on Jason. He's a busy grad student now. I don't know. Oh man. I don't know, but Tari seems to also not know what's going on. The queen is hit now, but the queen's surely gonna give a check, right? You know what's crazy about check? If rook blocks, you can sack the queen because then you get pawn push with discovery. He pushes the pawn anyways. Brilliancy move here. And what's the idea? Does he want bishop here, perhaps? Jason might squeeze this out. He might... Oh, he's got 1 second, though. He's got to move. Move, Jason. Oh, my God. Oh, no. That's so brutal. Oh, it's so sad. But, you know, happy for Aryan, though. Luca won his game, so he gets a sweep. Aryan Tari gets a sweep. Shaky last game, but we've got Isak now versus Owen, the last game of the match. Mizzou, they're 1 game away from sweeping the entire second half of the match. They'd have at least 8 in a row. Okay, these moves are not coming in for me. Here we go. Okay, Owen, up on time and in position. But hold on. E6's not done yet. And look at that pawn go. Okay, things went wrong. Things went wrong for white. So that was a bad move. This is a bad move. That was a bad move. That's 3 bad moves in a row. That's a pin. That's a check. But hold on. Hold on. Wait, what are you doing now? You can't take. You're just losing. You're just done. Oh, sweep. Back-to-back rounds. Bishop comes back. Sack. Queen on the board. Check. And it's resignable. I mean, queen takes is a big threat. I don't know, guys. Queen check here. Yeah. There's no stalemates. There's never going to be stalemates in this. That's mate. GG. So Isak ends 3 out of 4. And yeah, only 2 points given up in the first 2 rounds. Mizzou 14-2. Absolute domination on the board here against Virginia. So Mizzou, they came to play. They were serious. So yeah, that's the first week for CCL. That's the only match we're going to watch this week. But we do have a player interview So if you would like to stick around, please give us a second while we get that going. So I'll be right back. We'll be joined with Amilal, the Board 4 and International Master from Missouri, a new player. So if you'd like to welcome him and ask any questions, please let us know in the chat. But I'll be right back. Give me less than 5 minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm joined by the Board 4 International Master Amilal from University of Missouri. Amilal, congratulations. You guys just won against University of Virginia by a monster score of 14-2. How do you feel right now?
I feel great about this tournament. This is my first time playing in this collegiate event. I kind of I liked the format of the tournament. And also congratulations to my teammates and my coach.
Yeah, so this is your first time competing in the Collegiate Chess League. Are you a first year student?
Yes, I just came here this year, this January.
Oh, wow. So this is your first time in Missouri and in America?
Yes.
How are you liking it so far?
Ah, great. I'm loving every bit of of everything in this university, and even more that I managed to join this chess team, and which graced me, which have great team spirit.
And where are you coming from?
I came from Mongolia.
Okay. I know there's another Mongolian player in Missouri, I believe. Is it Batsurin?
Yeah, Batsurun Dambasurun.
Are you friends with him?
Yes, but we're not very close. But we haven't chatted about like a year or 2 years from now.
Okay. Well, now he's going to be one of your rivals in the Collegiate Chess League because he's playing at St. Louis University. So tell us what you know about Mizzou's college chess team and who you guys are looking forward to competing against this season.
We're looking forward to compete against everyone and give our best, and hopefully we can come out on top. But it but for us to like we want what we really want to do is have a great give our all in our all of our games, and even with the setbacks we would be united and ready to compete. Also, that's it.
Did you watch any of the competition from last season?
I only watched the competition last season. Since this is my first time going to the US, uh I I haven't able been able to watch the 2024. 20 I feel like I watched the 2025 one, and I kind of got the fond of got the first step of how the tournament is played.
Yeah, and were you nervous at all coming in today?
Yes, a bit of nervous. In the first game, I think I was a little bit of nervous and didn't know what opening what what the what the moves I should play. And I spent a lot of time in the first game. And also in the first game I won, but in the second game after losing that game, I started to like get little bit confidence and started playing my games pretty well.
Did you play at the Pan Am tournament last month or no?
No, I haven't played that in the last month. I was not in Mizo, so I couldn't be able to join play in that tournament. But hopefully, I can play in the Pan American in the upcoming year.
And what are you studying right now?
Uh, my major is economics. I'm studying major economics in this university. And for my for this semester, I'm studying calculus, math calculus, finance, nutrition, and data science.
Okay, very cool. And have you been able to visit St. Louis at all?
Yes, I have visited. I have visited the St. Louis Chess Club, which was very special for me. And I I was this is my first time going into a city, a chess city, where everything for chess is the most popular, almost the most popular sport here. And I was surprised. I loved the moment I went to St. Louis.
That's really great. Yeah, I actually live in St. Louis, so it would be nice to meet up and maybe play a little bit next time if you're in town.
Hmm.
I know there's a lot of events happening here all the time. Do you know what your next in-person event will be?
Next in-person event, my next event would be my St. Louis Masters in this year,
Awesome.
in February 24th.
I'll have to check. So that's in 10 days. So um, I'm sure you'll be preparing for that. Uh,
Yes.
so I know that you guys had a really big win. Last season you guys finished not in the finals, so I think you guys are hoping to get back there, and that'd be great if you get to the championship match in your first season. So you've got a lot of games left between now and then, but this is a really good start, and it was really nice meeting you and getting to know you a little bit better, and I hope to maybe meet you in person maybe even at St. Louis Masters. So congratulations on your win, and I want to wish you the best of luck to you and your teammates the rest of the season.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. That was Amilal from University of Missouri getting 3 out of 4 against Virginia and helping his team get to a 14-2 win, starting off the season right. So, thank you all for watching. This has been a lot of fun. Shout out to Cash. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a massive raid from Chess24. This is like actually ridiculous. We just finished the interview. We just finished the entire match. You guys missed the debut. Normally, I like to say when we get rated that you guys are coming in at the exact perfect time, but this is actually like at least I'm still on camera. I was just about to end the whole thing. We're going to have to send you guys off on another raid. But while you're all here, let me tell you all about the Collegiate Chess League and hope to have you back next week because the Collegiate Chess League will be continuing for at least the next 2 months. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific or 2 p.m. Eastern, we'll be live watching college chess players from all around the world. This season actually broke the record for number of schools registering. We have 227 schools from 25 different countries. So if you are a college chess player or you're interested in watching some college chess, definitely feel free to check us out, give us a follow, and join our Discord. If you guys want to compete in the next season, it'll be announced in August and starting in September. But if your school already has a team, you can still join mid-season. Otherwise, I appreciate you all being here and supporting. Shout out to Chess24. I hope you guys had a good stream. And what's up, AK? And yeah, shout out to Cash. Definitely go check him out. Cash has been crushing it. What's up, Luke? What's up, Trelato? All right. Thank you all for being here. I'm actually going to head out. Happy Valentine's Day. If you guys are celebrating, if you're not celebrating, you've always got chess. Chess will always love you. So that's honestly. But yeah, we just finished watching Missouri. Next week we'll have more matches. Like I said, we do this every Saturday. So if you're on Twitch on Saturdays, just feel free to stop on by, see who's going to be competing next. Last season, St. Louis University won the championship against UT Dallas. So we'll definitely be watching them again. We just watched Mizzou, who's the number 1 seed, thanks to their top board, Aryan Tari. And yeah, you might recognize that name, but we just had an interview with Amilal from Mongolia, who's just started school at Mizzou this semester. So that's really cool to have met him. All right, let's find someone to raid, shall we? Who's gonna get the remaining Chess24 raid? Ooh. There's a couple options here. Thank you guys for the follows. Really appreciate all that. I'm going to send you guys off to former CCL player and current streamer Blood Queen. She played for the UCLA team, which is really cool. Along with Rach Angel, who you all should know. So definitely go show your love and support to Blood Queen. She's streaming with Houseline, whose name is Matt. So these are some great streamers, people that are in the chess.com streamer program. I need to pull up. I'm rating from like my personal channel. I have to rate from all the channels. So stick around. Give me a moment. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. And actually, I'm gonna raid Matt on my channel. I think that'll be kind of funny. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Also, happy Mardi Gras. And yeah, hope to see you all next week. Take care. Thanks. Bye.